So Chris, it's good to see you here looking at some of these tractors that I don't know what the hell they are.
Well, someone's got to, hasn't they? Got to keep the end up, as it were. It's like an education for you, isn't it?
Every day I'm with you, it's like an education. Yeah.
That's one way of putting it. So yeah, there's quite a few tractors here at Clarke Simpson's sale.
I was quite surprised at the mix, to be fair. I mean, you don't see 700-800s coming up much nowadays.
Not so much now, no.
They weren't really
more
that popular.
scared.
49 is, oh, you don't see many 49s.
No.
We lifted the values on 49s a few years ago with Project 55, didn't we?
Very good DVD if anybody hasn't got it, yeah.
That is quite good, yeah. But yeah, good mix. So John Deere 4955, the first tractor for me that sort of started my tractor ownership journey. A lot of similarities on this tractor to what my tractor was. Mine was a Dutch import. This is clearly Dutch or German. It's got the air. That's why the alternator sits out the side, because it makes room for the air compressor. It's got the steel wheels, which is a real import thing. Lovely tractors, really. This is quite a late example, 1993. Yeah, just really nice. Like, looks can be deceiving when you sit in there. That bonnet is massive, especially when they've put the exhaust routed up the side. It's just like a sea of bonnet. Just tremendous thing. But we better fire it up and, so you can hear that lovely Waterloo music. I seem to be developing a bit of a soft spot for a Sammy for some reason.
Oh, obvious reason, really. An
I don't think it's
air-cooled
obvious.
engine.
That's, like, we weren't going to talk about this, were we? But I've sort of drifted round it and keep sort of like pulling to
Can't
it.
be away from it.
Like 40k, front linkage, front power drive. What's this? 19...
The early 90s, 89, I think
89,
Explorer,
90, 91.
Explorer 2 came in.
They're nice
1000
little
series
things, aren't they?
air-cooled engine.
So that's Sammy's own engine.
Yep. Air-cooled 1 litre per cylinder, so 4-cylinder, 4 litre. Meant to be quite nice little things, really.
Would, and like, I'd be driving a John Deere 2140 at that time, which would be 82 horsepower.
You're not really comparing like for like age-wise, though, are you? There?
No, a little bit.
No.
Newer, but quite a step up.
Very capable, very high spec package again. Yeah. It's very Italian, plenty of gears, a lot of gears.
A lot of gears. Yeah, because some of these had like 64 gears, didn't they?
You better see what this one's got.
It's a nice little thing. I mean, I'm not quick with my maths. I need my wife really for the maths. So we've got a range shifter here, which has got 4 on it, and then we've got forward and reverse there, 5 on that stick, plus a high-low shifter there. So we've got like mega number of gears. Enough to confuse you anyway.
Nice little Deutz 5206 local tractor with a ECF sticker on it, 3-cylinder air cooled. We'll see what that sounds like.
They're nice.
The amount of times I've heard about, oh, I wish I had a 1200,
Yeah.
I nearly bought a 1200, I did own a 1200 and I sold it. Now's your chance.
Yeah.
Why did you sell the one you had then?
I sold it because it needed a lot of work, didn't it?
It did,
It needed a lot.
it wasn't terrible.
No, it wasn't terrible.
It's sort of straight
But
up
I
farm
decided,
tractor.
like, we were busy and I had a lot of other things, and I thought, well, if I'm going to have an afternoon off and I've only got time to drive something, am I likely to gravitate towards the 1200? And I decided, no, I probably wouldn't. But because everything has just got so big, like when this was produced, like, arguably they were too small then, weren't they?
I mean, in fairness, a nice spec, one of the probably the nicest engines ever made, 6354 Perkins, so
Do sound
105 horsepower. But again, 105 horsepower, it wasn't massive, like you say, was it?
No.
It was,
But I mean, this is a nice example with 4 matching diamond pattern Goodyear tyres on, so like as nice a sort of tractor as you'll
nice sort of
find.
genuine feel to it.
It's had a little bit of hand painting, but like you don't see many 1200s that haven't experienced a bit of brush work.
That's saved it, has kept it, hasn't it?
It has. It's nice inside, like it's as nice as you'd expect it to be inside. It's quite an early one.
Have a look in the camera.
On a T, we'll have a look. I don't know why I come to these things with you. It just makes me want to buy these things. It's just so nice. Like, I want a 55 series again. I want a 1200 again. You must, like, coming off a little 2-wheel drive Massey onto one of these, you must have felt like the king, like really.
So yeah, another nice Massey with the purpose. We've got basically the 4-cylinder version of the 6354, 4236 in this. Probably one of the most genuine tractors here. Just a really nice off-farm
example.
example.
Looking at it, like it's got that lovely, like
very straight, very original.
well done Orbitin. It must have been on a sprayer. Look, it's got that bit.
Yeah, it's nice. Been through some crops, actually.
It is. I was just thinking, like where I grew up, there weren't really any Masseys around me. There's a little village called Gayton just down the road. A guy there had 3 or 4, and I'd seen them occasionally, but.
And I sort of feel very iconic again. I mean,
Yeah,
half
lovely.
of
Like,
England
I always thought the design and the shape and the silver nose was always a really nice sort of touch. What years would these have been made from until?
So mid 70s onwards, really, or late 70s.
Till what?
Till early 80s. Again, very iconic. The single door. But,
So would the 3000 series have come out right on the end of the production of this? Or
no, there's a good 5-year gap between. You've got a lot of 600
so you'd have the
series
600s
in between. British built, from what I'm led to believe. Single step signifies Banner Lane rather than Beauvais production. But I stand to be corrected on that.
Not often that happens.
No, it isn't. So Jonathan, you'll know all about this tractor, won't you?
Well, we come to these things, and now I know my tractors, but I'm by no means an encyclopedia. And you get rattling on about what something is, and I don't even know what you're talking about in the yard. Like,
Well, we've got a good example now.
What
to
is
look
it?
At. So, Utos 45, which essentially built by the same factory that later produced UTB Universal in Romania. So for about 5 years they were known before UTB as Utos, which stands for something like Stalin City Tractor Factory in Romanian, so very, very socialist. It's a licensed copy of an MTZ5, which was the second Polaris tractor built at Minsk, which they obviously had a very good look at certain international models. We can see quite a lot of similarities. Shouldn't really be here, none sold over here new. This is a French tractor. But again, the forerunner of the 650 and 651 Universal, which we did get over here.
when you say French, it wasn't built in France. Though.
No, sold in France. Quite a healthy export market for them there.
Yeah, because it's got a Bucharest.
There we go, exactly. I think they built over 700,000 of these, so not a rare tractor when new, although how many survivors are left?
That
Good
lift
question.
pump looks like the one on my 1000, what you probably picture.
You could try, but I don't know how well you'd get on. And who copied who? Did the Germans copy the Romanians? Doubtful.
But this is the sort of tractor that floats your boat as a rule, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose from a historical point of view, yes, there's a lot of interesting design in it. It's,
See, from the other end of the
quite
yard, I
unique
would have said it was a Zeta.
Really? Really?
Just to stir you up, usually.
I have to go back to training again, I think. 'Cause, again, very much, I mean, those that know anything about Polaris, so probably, I don't know, 5% of people watching this right now will recognise, obviously, spool block being here. Again, there's certain similarities. You can see where the design developed. Very crude. It's quite a heavy back end as they go. A lot of tractors of that same power would have a lighter gearbox and back axle.
Yeah, but it's pretty substantial. I mean, look at the width of it. Like a
Lot of
normal
iron,
tractor that we would have a tiny little transmission, wouldn't it?
It would. This again, very, very. Okay, again, a departure from the traditional Polaris farm or pedestal design of steering. So, yeah, quite different. But yeah, quite an interesting thing.
At least it's on Michelin tyres, so it has got one thing going for it.
French tractor, probably the originals actually, looking at them, aren't they?
They probably are, to be fair, yeah.
So James has found yet another unusual rarity.
Again, another tractor, I ain't got a clue what it is. So,
What is it then, Jonathan?
well, as I come through the album, I thought
Lands was the first
Lands,
guess, wasn't it?
and then I said man, and then I thought, is that a Hanamag?
No.
Still, three
no,
guesses
no.
in and I'm still wrong.
We better put you out of your misery, I suppose.
Well, I wouldn't say it's misery because I'm not like busting to know, but
No, so IFA RSO 140 Pioneer, East Germany's first tractor.
it's Germany's finest.
I don't know about finest, but definitely first. They were good. They had got a good reputation. Designed pre-war as a Famo XL design, which Famo was owned by Junkers at the time, so another famous German name.
Maker,
That was the plane maker. Yeah, quite iconic in that neck of the woods. I think they've made over 20,000 of them.
That's the sort of thing I'd expect to see in some of those sheds when we visit Germany, like tucked in the corner.
If we went into the right area, went into the east, you would.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many survivors there are, but again, over 20,000 made, so it was a common. But some of the
But you
British
wouldn't
tractors
see,
into rarity.
I've ever seen one here.
You wouldn't. They were never sold, never offered over here. First one I've seen over here, only one I've seen over here. But 4-cylinder, 5-litre engine, so she's got plenty of torque. 45 horsepower at 1200 RPM, winch on the back as well. But look at that front axle suspension. What more do you want?
In the late 90s, we were thinking suspension was all modern and amazing. But look, this is what year?
Yeah,
52?
This would be mid 50s onwards. This is yeah, very. But again, 1930s design for its age. It was actually a really good design if you think.
No, well, it looks it, doesn't it? Honestly,
For
to be
mid-30s.
fair, it does look it. Yeah.
It's got a lot of very advanced features at the time.
Yeah, it's got the Young Farmers Edition air horns.
Genuine Soviet air horn, CCCP. It's got on it. So never seen one of those before.
Because it's also got a Karl Marx.
It has the injector pump. Injector pump has got Karl Marx stat on it.
No, well, it's nice, and like, hopefully it'll do quite well.
It should do, shouldn't it? It's something, a curiosity, it's interesting, it's something different, a collector would like it, or perhaps for a road run. So you like these things?
It's a Caterpillar. What is there not to like?
Especially
Tell me, what's not to like? D7 9G?
RD7 basically, very, very early, 1937. 13.6 litre 4-cylinder.
Proper. Like, I mean, it's quite straight, to be fair.
It's very straight, isn't it?
Yeah. It's obviously had some paint.
Yeah.
But
Has held it again from 1937,
Yeah.
you'd had some paint as well by then, wouldn't you?
I think I probably would. Well, I mean, like, the seat's in good condition, like, it's been a bit pitted around the lever and stuff, but everything's there, isn't it?
It's a very nice example, really, isn't it?
It's a real
Tracks are
beauty.
decent as well.
Good lumbering thing, though.
Proper workhorse, really.
Yeah, it would
about
have been
900 RPM tops, something like that, governed that, so proper slow lugging engine.
How many?
About 900 RPM.
900. Most tractors tick over at 900 now. don't they?
Exactly. No AdBlue though.
No AdBlue.
No.
But I mean, when these are running and you're playing with them, they are nice. Like, everything is I just love them. Like, they're so positive.
Can make you smile, doesn't it?
It is a smile factor. And like,
Even that's like a work of
I
art.
do
really.
need a D7. Just
Do you really?
Just maybe not yet.
Little Willmot Lightspray, what do we say about this? Proper lightweight, low ground pressure tool. Very classic.
Classic.
Do you think I'll fit in
Can you
it?
imagine spending the day in this?
I can't, it'd be awful really.
I mean, I had a Fraser 5D, that was bad enough.
A little bit cramped.
I just got excited about the adjustable steering wheel. I think it's so you can actually get in and out.
It probably is a bit like an SG2 cab really, where you it served a purpose though, wouldn't it? It's got
Yeah,
its
but
place.
in the 80s, there was a real push and a trend to travel as lightly as possible.
Absolutely.
It wasn't all about 8,000 litres and
A lot of late
36
autumn
metres.
herbicides going on, IPU and things like that, CTU, which
I mean, come on, like, you saw hovercraft sprayers at one point.
exactly, nearly is a hovercraft, isn't it? I feel like it's a hovercraft.
Certainly. You definitely travel light. Well, actually, if you got stuck, you'd probably just leave it in gear, get out and push.
You'd lift it.
It's quite incredible, really.
The plexiglass windows do take a little bit of seeing through, though. I must admit. I dare.
At least the boom is
I don't know
behind
what-
you, you're not trying to
I
see
don't know whether I
through.
dare shut the. No, that's a whole other
Imagine,
subject, really.
imagine the conversation with the police. Well, I didn't see it coming because I was looking through the plexiglass.